Hello gamers, and welcome back to Beyond the Emulator. I'm your host, Dylan. In today's episode, we're going to be diving into the latest Scrappy, which is an artwork scraper, version 8.0.0 beta release. If you haven't heard about it, Scrappy is an awesome artwork manager powered by Skyscraper, and today we're going to be testing out on Muos' Funky Jacaranda firmware for the Trimui Smart Pro. So I'm going to give you kind of a quick example here of the artwork that I've actually done already, and we're going to be adding some more. We're going to be loading it up. I'm going to be showing you my personal configurations for the best experience on the TSP. Scrappy brings a ton to the table: gorgeous aesthetics, real-time scraping, custom templates, robust asset management. You can find the download link in the description below. So sit back, grab your Trimui, and let's push your setup for peak performance. We're going beyond the emulator. If you love these handheld deep dives, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Thank you all for your incredible support. Now let's get scrappy. So before we get into the install, I just wanted to kind of give you some background on Scrappy, the fork for Muos, an artwork scraper powered by Skyscraper. You can see it here, your artwork redefined. So I will share a link as well for the new beta version, 8.0.0, but this is just an example that's online showing their previous version 7. You've got the application that we're going to be loading up. You've got perfect aesthetics. We've got target scraping. You're going to be using your Screen-Scraper account. That'll help out. So if you have one, you're going to need to have that information available. It's going to be over-the-air updates. You can enable an offline mode, custom region priorities. You can manage your settings. There's stunning templates. If you have a grid mode theme, you would be able to have this example. You can design your own custom artwork templates, as well as an artwork manager. So what we're trying to not do is include going to the latest release. What I'm going to do is provide you a link again to the beta version 8.0.0. So let's go back to the device, and I'll show you how to get it set up and installed. So I kind of explained a little bit of a preview that was provided on the web, and now what I've done is I've downloaded Scrappy onto my device. What you'll do is you'll end up downloading the file, loading it into your archives, and then what it'll do is it'll go into applications. So what we're going to do is we're already into Muos. We're going to go over to applications here. We're going to go to our archive manager. We're going to scroll down to select where Scrappy is. It's an application. So we're going to go ahead and select it. It's been put into the archive manager. It's going to go ahead and download the files that are needed to be put on Muos Funky Jacaranda's firmware. So then we'll be able to have an application sitting. When we go back, down below, and here we are, Scrappy. So we're going to go ahead and execute it for the first time. This is the latest release that was provided to me by the developer. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. It's going to go ahead and open it up. We've got Scrappy version 8.0. We've got basically already, it's asking the question, make sure you have your assigned cores to your ROM folders before scraping. We've already kind of done that already. We'll just go ahead and press OK. It's a good reminder. So this is the open front end interface here. And up above, you've got the option of arcade magnet, or cabinet, I'm sorry. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and scroll across. And you can see that the preview is changing. So you can get different examples of what you'd like to do. A lot of these are for the TSP. Nice images. You've got a small one. They're using the default of Streets of Rage. I'll show you how that can change. We can look at the background here. So we've got a background of the game as well as the image of the cartridge. We keep going, and it brings us back to a screenshot. So there's quite a few different options. The one I like right now is the Epic Gradient background. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, but what we'll do is we'll go into some of the settings. So using your D-pad, we're going to scroll down. We're not going to scrape it all yet. We're not going to do a single ROM. We're going to keep going down. When you go down, it moves over to advanced. We're going to go ahead and press A. And this is their menu up above, that's included in it. It's like a sub-menu. So we'll go down to the options real quick. We don't necessarily need to update Scrappy. We've already put the latest version in. If you wanted to migrate your cache to another SD card, if you had a dual SD card type of device, unfortunately we do not. If you wanted to back up your cache to one SD card, you could put it. It will be saved in an archive folder. You could back it up to the SD card as well. You could back up the Scraper config to the SD card. You can change your Skyscraper module. Currently it's the Screen Scraper. Current theme is dark. We're going to go ahead and navigate with that. So let's go ahead and select that. So now we have a light screen. Now we have a dark screen. The accent is currently Muos. We're going to go ahead and select that. You'll see these are all a preset menu. So if you wanted to make any changes here, if we did blue, now you can actually see the highlight is in blue, kind of like that. There's an option for offline mode. If you've actually done scraping and you had removed some ROMs from your device and then added them back, you could actually use the offline scraping. That would provide you to be able to bring that artwork back up for your ROMs on your platform. We've got the show clock on or off, time format, 12 hours. We've got sounds, edit region priorities, gives you a selection while it's scraping. We go ahead and select it. You can see how it is based on order. We're using US as our top, but if we were looking for something specifically from maybe our region, we can make a change to that. You can also do updating the cache. It's just going to be doing a run through. Doesn't generate any artwork. We can also do a custom import, add custom data to the cache. They've got a wiki, which is included on the GitHub for Scrappy. We can manage grid images. If we wanted to make any changes here, we would go in here for setting up your scaling of your image. We can manage our preview presets and capture the preset from the ROM or remove the existing. We can change a preview for the game artwork. So here we had defaulted already, I believe, was Streets of Rage. If we wanted to change the background screen, we could actually do Sonic the Hedgehog. So when I go back out of the menu, it's going to refresh. As you can see, I've got Sonic on the screen. We'll go ahead and go to our advanced tools again. We'll scroll down this submenu. Quite a few options and things that can be done. We can rescan the ROM folders, which is overwrites the platform configuration. We can edit platform mapping. So you can view the supported, how they are basically labeled on the ROMs. So N64 equals N64, Neo CD is Neo Geo CD. So if you needed to edit your platform mapping, that's available. We can reset the configs, which again cannot be undone. We can clear the Skyscraper cache. We can start the Artwork Manager off the web, start the Template Maker, which I'm going to show you as well. There's a visual tour and a little bit of details about Scrappy. If we wanted to get a visual tour, let's go ahead and click on that and see what it takes us. Nice. Gives us some images of what we're going to be able to see as offered, as well as what I just previously showed you from the website. So looking at it on the web or as well, very nice, very nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a little scraping. We've got some artwork just before. We need to also go into our settings. So down in settings is select. Here you're going to go ahead and enter your Screen Scraper account information. We'll go ahead and put our username information and add that. Let me put you on pause for 1 second. What I did was enter my Screen Scraper credentials. So after it does, it'll actually pop up a menu saying it's been saved. So my details are in here with my password. If you had a GameDB account, you could go ahead and enter it in here, as well as an IGDB account. You could enter the credentials as well. You can go down here and you can change it for settings. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and We're going to select a few platforms. We don't necessarily need to do all of them. I think we can actually click off N64. What we can do is actually go out and just select the ROM platforms that are missing artwork, and just instead of overwriting it, we'll go ahead and just limit it to that to give you a good example. So let's go ahead and get out of here. We're going to click out of it. We're going to click out of it one more time. We're going to go to our games file. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab a pen really quick, if I can find one. And what we're going to do is we're going to mark down which platforms we need to grab. I know Nintendo 64. I believe everybody is on there already. Nintendo DS. I added some games just recently. Advanced Wars. I don't have any artwork. Some of the other games do. Pokemon Black version does not. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and write down NDS. If we can get this pen to work. So we'll hit NDS. We've got the Nintendo Entertainment System. All these have been scraped. We can save on that. Nintendo Game Boy. Looks like we've got a couple there that aren't scraped. We'll go ahead and select that. So we'll add the Game Boy to the selection. Let's see, we've got Game Boy Advance. I want to say I've basically scraped most of these games. I think we'll be okay there. Game Boy Color. Beautiful images. Nintendo Super NES. Pop-in Twinbee, I do not have. So what we'll do is we'll add the NES platform as well. I got PC Engine going. And we've got Override on that, so we need it as well. So we'll actually add PC Engine. Ports, I know there's some are missing. Whoops. We'll go back. We've got Dreamcast. We've got one game missing here. I've been playing with a lot of pinballs, so we've got Dreamcast. We'll add them. I believe the Saturn is missing all of those as well. We'll make a note of that. I know my PlayStation and PlayStation Portable, I think I've actually grabbed almost all the images I needed. Haven't really, there's a few games I've added actually. There we go. Let's see, Grand Theft Auto, Army of Two. So we'll add the PSP to it. So we selected about 7 platforms. So let's go ahead and go back over to our application. We're going to go ahead and scroll down to Scrappy. It's going to go ahead and boot it back up again. Gives us our little message. We're going to go ahead and select our Epic Gradient Background TSP. It looks beautiful here with the image in the back. And what it's going to do is it's going to take the image from the game and also put that in the back. This is just an example, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. We're going to go to our Select. We're going to scroll down to our platforms. We're going to uncheck all of them. We're going to go ahead and select only the categories that we want, or platforms that we wanted to do. So we've got Game Boy, we've got NDS, we've got NES, we've got PC Engine, we've got ports, and we've got an error down here. Whoops. We'll go back down, and I think the only one we're looking for is PSP and Saturn. So we'll go ahead and get out of that. Scroll back up. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and back out of that. We've already entered our Skyscraper account information. We're going to go ahead and scrape all. We can actually just select that by scraping only missing artwork. We're going to go ahead and do start our scraping. So when we start our scraping, we're actually going to go ahead and cut this video part off, and we're actually going to go to the computer where actually there's a web dashboard that we're going to be plugging in an IP address to show you real-time scraping going on your PC side while it's syncing to your device. So we're going to go ahead and do start scraping. It's going ahead and launching the live dashboard, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. We're going to go ahead and press X. and you can see an IP address down there. So we're going to pause our tape over here. We're going to plug in that IP address, and we're going to go to the PC and see what we see. So we've got the live scraping dashboard going. There's the IP addresses up here. This is what was entered from the device. You'll see that. And actually what it's doing is it's going through each of the platforms right now, processing them and locating the games. So currently it's showing the Nintendo Game Boy Revenge of the Gator. We've got about 26 games that it's going through, and it's scraping through those platforms. So now it's hitting the NDS next after that. So you can see we've progressed 5 platforms. We've got 4 in one of them. Time has actually already elapsed about a minute and a half. We're a few minutes late. But this is real time going off of the device. So if I go back to the device, you'll see the same example there while it's syncing with the Muos Jacaranda with Scrappy. It will take a few minutes. But this is an example of how it works. You've got the script down below. You can see if we scroll up here with the arrow when it started and opened up the platform. So now it just moved over to Nintendo DS. You can see our time's elapsed about 4 minutes. So here's an example. So we'll let this run its process of the real timing. Might depend on your internet speed. Mine's a little bit slow on how it's functioning. So we'll go ahead and put this on pause. And then when it's completed, we'll go back to our device. We'll go ahead and get out of there. We'll go ahead and do a quick preview. And then we'll go ahead and go with the other options that they have available with Scrappy. So we've made it back to the device and we've finished scraping. Looks like we scraped 17 games, 6 had failed or skipped. So we have a few titles that are there, 2048 and Puzzle, Need for Speed, Pinball Crush, Power Putt Legend, V-Drift. Some of them seem to be for the ports. So we can go ahead and add those manually when we're going to do is another application. So we're going to go ahead and press A. We're going to go ahead and get out of this application for a second. We're going to go ahead and get back out. Let's go to our games and see how our artwork did. So we did PlayStation Portable. Perfect. Army of Two. Now we've got screen art. We can go down. There's Grand Theft Auto. Now we have a screen. You've got the gradient background as well as this box art here as well over here on the right. So a couple games that we had added, I believe. Now they've got all artwork as well. So we also had selected Saturn, I believe, in our list. We'll go ahead and hit Saturn. Beautiful. All of them selected here with artwork. So we should be able to go right up to the game and select it. We're going to scroll up. One of them was NDS, actually, and I'll show you. Let's go to NDS. We've got artwork. Got artwork. Pokemon Black. So changing it here to get this artwork to work, these particular games, Advance Wars and Pokemon Black version, are not assigned to the NDS core, so it's not giving us our artwork. So to correct that, I'm going to go ahead and press X. And as you can see, it's not assigned. We're going to go ahead and select one. We'll scroll down through our assigned cores. We'll go to Nintendo DS. We're going to go with our Drastic Advanced, which is a default there with the star. Now when I go ahead and exit back out by pressing the B, there is my artwork. And I'll have to do the same with this as well. Go ahead, not assigned. Just scroll down easily down to NDS. Make sure I've got my default core. And there's my artwork populated. We'll do the same with the black version. It's not assigned. We scroll down, NDS, and we've got artwork. So that just shows how we corrected that artwork. Now we're going to go back over to Scrappy, and we're going to do a little bit more stuff connecting to the internet on their dashboard. So a couple items did not have images. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to Advanced Tools We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Everything has been running perfect for us so far. We're going to bring it all the way down, I believe, to Start Artwork Manager. It's a web-based program. It's going to provide us an IP address. We're going to go ahead and plug that in again. I'll show you how that works and how this is syncing with, Muos is syncing with my web browser to allow us to get into some Artwork Manager. So we'll go ahead and select that. It's going to provide an IP address, you can see. So now we're going to go back to the computer and punch in that IP address, and we'll see them match up. We are with Artwork Manager. We've connected it with our device. As you can see, this IP address is what is actually being used from the Trimui device using Muos Funky Jacaranda's firmware. So what we can do is when you go up to the top here, sorry I scrolled down, I was looking at, we've got different platforms here. We've got the NDS. These are where we actually got our artwork. As it refreshes, my Wi-Fi is a little bit lagging. You can see my Advanced Wars after I put it into the right platform. It gave me my images there, and you can see them here. If I wanted to click it, what we've got is I can click down. These are the screenshots. This is if we wanted to change it for different themes. Here right now is the current image. So if we wanted to change out something, if it was part of the wheel, we're not showing a wheel, but if we were taking the scroll up and we take this screenshot and we wanted to replace it, we could go ahead and locate a file and actually add it. I don't currently have a file right now. I'd have to do a little bit extra digging, but what it would do is it would actually take this back, and when we refresh it, it would be disappearing. This is currently what it looks like right now. So I've provided you an example using Artwork Manager. The next option that we have available is Template Maker. So we're going to go ahead and click on it, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a quick example of it on the web. It's going to be sharing the Template Maker. It's used to actually make different types of templates for different resolution devices. I'll show you like the Epic Gradient template I shared earlier. It was actually made using the Template Maker. So it actually makes templates for different devices with different artworks depending on the user. And the user can actually easily make and scrape artwork exactly as they want for different games. So let's go ahead and click on that. It's going to go ahead and provide us a web address again. Let's go back to the computer. So what we did was I punched in that address into my web browser, as you can see up top here. And what it did was it opened up the Scrappy Template Maker, which provides multiple different templates. I'll show you what we had here. And this is just an example. And down below and down here on the right, you can see you can do some import, export, and save. So you could create your own templates using these options below. So that's just a quick example of the Template Maker. Thanks. So we are back after we showed a preview of how the Template Maker works. So we've stopped it. So again, both going into the sub menu here to Advanced Tools, you'll go ahead and see you're able to do the Artwork Manager based on the web, as well as the Template Maker, which is also on the web, which I showed you a preview of. So we're going to go ahead and get out of this. We're going to go ahead back to Games, and we'll go ahead and do a preview on the Sony PlayStation Portable. We were doing artwork for Army of Two, the 40th day. We've got the nice screen artwork. Everything seems to be completed now. Nice. Everything is set up perfectly for PSP. Everything is in place. So here's an example of Scrappy version 8.0. I'm going to go ahead and include a link to the beta release if you wanted to try it out as well. Again, thanks for watching Beyond the Emulator, and happy gaming.